Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily Dvar. And here's a brand new Halacha for you, and it is for Sunday, the 13th day of February. Here we go. Today's Halacha is this: when giving charity, there are all kinds of different ways that you could give charity. I'm going to give you a bad example right here. This would be you go over to a certain guy and you notice that he's in shul and he looks all dejected and poor, and you say to him, hey, you look really poor, and you look like you could really use some money, and you just pull out $1,000 out of your wallet and say, here, this ought to help you out, buddy, have a nice day. It's still good. You gave him charity. You gave him $1,000, and that's kind of wonderful. But imagine the embarrassment that guy must have felt when he's standing there uncomfortable. You've said that he looks poor and all that, and you've offered to give him money, but he's standing right there receiving the money from you. He knows who gave him the $1,000. You could imagine the added embarrassment that gives him. One of the much higher levels of charity is if you could manage to ever give the charity in a way such that the receiver and the giver of the charity don't even know each other, so that nobody, first of all, the receiver is spared all of the embarrassment, and the giver of the charity also doesn't get all the high of saying, watching the guy thank him and watching the guy being beholden to him and all that. None of that's happening, because the giver doesn't even know who the money's going to. The receiver doesn't even know who it came from. That is a beautiful way to give charity, if it ever is at all possible. A little Torah thought for you here, and that is that the Gimel and the Dalet, of course, as you know, in the Aleph base in our Hebrew letters, are right next to each other. Gimel and then Dalet. Gimel is the word for the letter that stands for, the Gemara says this. Gimel stands for Gomel Chesed, Gomlei Chesed, those who do charity. Daled, that letter Daled, stands for the Dalim, or the poor people. And the Gomlei Chesed, those who give charity, are right near the Dalim, the poor people. As a matter of fact, they're right next to each other in the Aleph base. That's the way God wants it. And here, the Gemara adds that the Gimel has feet. That's how a Gimel is kind of written, with two kind of like little feet at the bottom, and the Gimel is running towards the Daled to always look for anybody that he can help. And the Daled, if you can imagine the way a Daled looks, kind of has its back turned towards the Gimel, because he doesn't want to be seen by the Gimel when the Gimel gives charity to him. And that's the way it's supposed to be. A poor man is embarrassed to receive charity, and it's best if we could spare his embarrassment by not even having him see who it is that's giving the charity to him. That's a beautiful way to arrange your charity, if ever possible. Of course, every time you put your money into a charity box, you're getting very close to that really, really high way, because you're not seeing exactly where it's going, and nobody knows exactly who that dollar bill came from. So that's really a good start right there. The good old Jewish charity box is much better than embarrassing the person and saying, here, buddy, here's $10. Now, thanks for logging on, and log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.